Ray. What do you want to do tonight?
Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
This is Justin and Erica from YouAreCreators, and we have a special guest, Mr. Mark Lack. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you, guys. It's great to be talking to you.
Okay, so I just want to give the listeners a little background of who Mark Lack is. Mark Lack has invested over $500,000 into his personal and professional growth. Today, Mark shares his knowledge, strategies, and proven success process to help young adults achieve their full potential in a fraction of the time it normally takes. His company, the Peak Performance Club, has become the world's #1 source for empowering great results in young adults. Mark is also the author of the book Shorten the Gap, Shortcuts to Success and Happiness, which has been endorsed by some of the leading experts in the professional development industry. We are so extremely excited to have Mark here with us today.
Thank you, guys. It's a privilege of mine to be speaking with you and to add value to your listeners.
Perfect, Mark. Mark, what exactly is the Peak Performance Club?
Well, my company, the Peak Performance Club, is the nation's preeminent young adult and young entrepreneur coaching company, and we focus on helping people overcome their fears, limiting beliefs, and perceived limitations, and then we create a tailored success plan for each individual that bridges the gap between the results they're currently producing and the dream life our clients want for themselves. And so our company is going into the second year of business right now, and the results that our clients are achieving is just tremendous. And you can go on our website and see some of the testimonials that are on there.
Great, and we're going to put down the website link and the link to Mark's book as well under the info tab on this video. Okay, so Mark, can you explain to us what a mastermind group is and why it's so beneficial?
Yeah, of course. A mastermind group is typically a small group of individuals who come together for the purpose of reinforcing growth and success while also offering support to one another. And a mastermind is typically what I like to say, it's a small group of individuals who are all kind of playing in the same game. And that game could be the game of relationships, it could be the game of business, it could be the game of self-mastery. It doesn't really matter. And when you get a group of individuals together who all want to achieve more success, and they can feed off of one another, they can talk about what works and what doesn't work, they can figure out, what people are struggling with and what people are being successful with, and it really helps to be able to bounce ideas off each other and have a leader kind of orchestrate the group, and you can figure out the pieces of what works in the specific industry that you're working at and how you can add certain things in from different groups of people and different groups of companies and entrepreneurs that are doing different things, have different strategies, different innovation tactics that you can implement into your business. And so I'm a part of a handful of mastermind groups, and the mastermind mentality is really that 1 + 1 + 1 = 50.
Right. Perfect. So would you call success a science?
A lot of people always say, is success a science? And when you study success, you can see that success is definitely a science. There's a formula to it. And there is literally a collection of things that attribute to any person's success or any person's business. I mean, there's patterns of successful businesses and patterns of happy people, patterns of sad people. And a pattern is simply a formula or a science equation. And so I always tell people, don't try to reinvent the wheel. It's unlikely that you are trying to achieve anything that hasn't already been achieved. So simple rule of thumb, go and find someone or a few people that have already achieved whatever it is that you want to achieve, and then model the strategies, tactics, and action steps that allow them to produce the results that you're looking to achieve. And so it's really that simple. Most people make it more difficult than it has to be because they think that they have to start from ground zero. But, one of the many secrets to success is to simply follow in the path that was paved before you. And, that's what makes success a science.
Exactly. So what is your success story, Mark? What is your story?
My story, basically giving the full bird's eye view but speeding it up. I was one of the highest paid professional paintball players in the world. I got to travel all over the place and experience different cultures at a really young age. I was 17, traveling the world with people that were in their late 20s, and so I matured really quickly and got to experience different things that, not a lot of people at my age get to. Just while I was in high school alone, I made over $300,000 playing professional paintball.
Wow.
And, I'm very growth-oriented. The 6 human needs of human needs psychology talks about different things that orient people's life, and one of those for me is growth. And so, my mentor, John Asseroff, always talks about breaking through your financial glass ceiling, and that's something that everyone gets limited by at some point in their business. And so for me it was, I'd already won everything there is to win and done everything and flew everywhere there was to go in paintball. And so I was like, where can I go that's going to allow me to thrive and continue to flourish and grow? And, I had to transfer over into the business world because that's, to me, the best place that there's really no ceiling. You can continuously have growth on a daily, weekly, monthly, and annual basis, and there is no limit to what you can achieve in the business and entrepreneurial world. And so I transferred from, being the best in the world in paintball, and now I'm working to become one of the best entrepreneurs in the world and, help other young adults, help pave the path for other young adults to follow.
Right. So, Mark, do you believe in the law of attraction, that we actually create our reality? What do you think about that?
I think there's a lot of different viewpoints that people have on it, and so you kind of have to be careful as to what you would define in regards to, how the law of attraction works and why it doesn't work for most people.
Okay.
But I think that we definitely create our own reality, but the thing that you have to be aware of is, bringing it back to Einstein's theory of relativity, is that everything in life just is. There's no good, there's no bad.
Right.
We perceive this and we create, our neuroassociation to what we believe will allow us to avoid pain or to gain pleasure. And so we definitely create our own reality all the time. I mean, you can, go anywhere in the world and talk with all different amounts of people, and you'll see that some people living in the same realm or the same reality see things completely differently. And so I think it's less about, do we create our own reality, and more about what is the reality that you want to create for yourself, and what things do you have to believe and associate different things to in order for yourself to have the reality that you want in life.
Okay, so can you share with us some tips that we can use to recondition our mindset for success and prosperity?
Different ways that we can condition our brain?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There's a variety of different things that I always work with my clients on, and one of the most important things to do is to condition your subconscious mind for success. And it's important to know how that happens. And so the subconscious mind is obviously going to be conditioned through repetitious programming. And so the subconscious mind is most vulnerable within the first 20 minutes of waking up in the morning. And so
really? I did not know that.
Yeah,
okay.
Not a lot of people know that. And so
yeah,
the first 20 minutes of waking up is when your subconscious mind is most impressionable. And so it's very important that you start the first 20 minutes of your morning off with intent. And what do I mean by starting it off with intent? Is really taking control of how you want the rest of your day to be, the rest of your life to be, by programming yourself every morning. And so one of the things that I do, and I always teach my clients to do, is right when you start off in the morning, instantly put your focus on the things that you're most grateful for in life. So you can start your day off in a state of gratitude. And then the next thing that I do is I program myself and my subconscious mind to have the thoughts and beliefs that will attribute to, the quality of life that I want to have on a regular basis and the amount of success that I want to create for myself and others. And so I do this through incantations and positive affirmations, which is simply a fancy way of saying I condition myself with positive words. I say, I am intelligent, I am more than enough, I am more than worthy of love, I am a great speaker, I am confident, I am brave, and I go through a list of different things that I want to condition myself to have the beliefs that I am these things, so that when I get into a point where I may have an ANT, which is an acronym for automatic negative thought, my brain has been programmed so much, and my subconscious mind has been programmed so much to have the belief that I am confident, I am worthy of love, I am more than enough. And the two deepest fears of all people are the fears of not being enough and the fear of not being worthy of love. This is why public speaking is the scariest thing for most people. I mean, if you're at a funeral, most people would rather be in the casket than doing the eulogy. And that's simply because the deepest fears of all people is the fear of not being enough and not being worthy of love. This is exactly why our subconscious minds are conditioned to avoid pain and to avoid success, because deep down we know that in order to become successful at anything, inevitably there's going to be failure along the way. And failure is another way of saying if you failed, well, you weren't good enough. And if you're not good enough, then how could you ever be worthy of being loved by anybody? And these are deep fears that we have in our core. And so if you can program yourself with the beliefs to understand that you're always going to be enough and that you're always worthy of love regardless of failing, then your brain is instantly going to be programmed to a whole nother level of achieving success and a quality of life that I think everybody deserves to have. And you just have to do it by programming your brain over and over and over and over again. I mean, I still have sabotaging beliefs about myself. People are always like, "What? How is that possible?" And I say, "Well, it's not that you're ever not going to have these things come up. It's a matter of how quickly you can smack them down and have the positive beliefs come back into your mind."
Okay, well, you know what, I do affirmations probably 70 to 80% of the day.
I love it.
What is your favorite personal affirmation that you use, Mark?
Probably in regards to starting my day off with intent and programming my subconscious mind with the belief that every day is a great day, I would have to say that one of the most powerful ones that I use on a daily basis is waking up and just, finishing my affirmation list with today is going to be an extraordinary day, an amazing day, because I will make it so.
Okay.
And so it's having the belief and giving yourself the gift of knowing that you control the outcome of your day and the outcome of your emotional state at any given time throughout the day. And so I always end my affirmation list, stating that today's going to be a great day. Why? Because I control it.
That's very similar to mine. Mine is, today is a fantastic day. All things lead to my success and wealth, and all is well.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, why is goal setting so important, Mark?
Goal setting is a topic that's obviously discussed a lot when it comes to achieving success. And goal setting is super important because, if you don't have a clearly defined target to hit, then you're never actually working towards anything, and you'll never get what you really want in your business or in your personal life or in your relationships. And most people don't know that just the physical act of clearly writing out your goals and how you plan on achieving them instantly impresses the goal into the subconscious mind and also your reticular activation system, which is the brain's mechanism for figuring out what it needs to focus on based on what you've programmed it to believe is important. And so if you can program your reticular activation system with the mentality that you're always looking for ways to achieve your goals, then you're never going to miss opportunities that were right in front of you all along, whether it was, relational capital of people you met at a networking event, or digging into your past, knowing that you have somebody who could help contribute to something you're looking to achieve. And an example of your reticular activation system is, when you're looking to buy a new car, how you see that car everywhere.
Right. It's crazy.
It's crazy. And so that's your reticular activation system is, you'll be driving out of your peripheral vision. You'll see the car that you're looking to buy out of the corner of your eye. And so why did your brain pick it up? Well, your brain's been programmed to believe that anything that has to do with that car or, the specific color car you're looking for, when that enters your field of view, your brain will pick it up even if it's out of its peripheral vision. And so it's so important to program your goals into your brain, because then if anything will attribute to the success and the achievement of your goals, then your brain's going to cause you to go, wait a minute, that person might be able to help me. Wait a minute, here's an opportunity that might help me. And anything else that comes across the path that will allow you to increase the odds of achievement of your goals. And so, writing your goals down is super important, so you actually have a direction and a destiny that you're headed, and you actually know when you get there. And you can, testing and measuring is the most important thing for success. Otherwise, how do you know when you're making improvements? And so the act of writing down a goal is really just a way to measure your achievements.
Right.
Okay, so Mark, how can we build more confidence when it comes to handling business endeavors?
How can we build more confidence when it comes to handling business endeavors?
Yes.
I think that it's important to know the distinction between the two types of confidence, and the important confidence aspect that we want to refer to when talking about business is the confidence that's achieved through preparation. And so the reason why, or I guess the reason why most people are struggling with their level of certainty and their ability to achieve the business endeavors that they're going after is really a lack of preparation and knowledge. And so one of the fastest and easiest ways to increase your confidence about anything is to study and educate yourself with the knowledge of how to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve for yourself or your business. And so most people get into something without having the proper knowledge and education of how to achieve it. And so, I mean, this is the reason why most people are one of the reasons why most people are terrified of public speaking or terrified of quitting their job and going out and, building the business that they really deep down wish they could have, is because they're not confident enough about their ability to execute the necessary things to make that a reality. And so I work with entrepreneurs all the time, and this is a common issue, is they have a lack of certainty in their ability to create the level of success that they want for their business or for their personal life through residual income. And so it really just comes down to, reinforcing your confidence by continuously educating yourself. And this is why I think it's so important that no matter how much success you have, you always find a coach or a consultant or a mentor or an advisor, and have somebody who can guide you from an outside perspective to help reinforce your level of confidence in your ability to, achieve the results you want in your business or your personal life.
Perfect. Okay. So, fears. How can we get past our fears and chase our dreams and our goals?
I think the first thing to do in regards to how to overcome a fear is to recognize what fear you're having and where that fear is actually stemmed from. And so, as I was talking about earlier, most people would say, I'm terrified of public speaking. But they're not terrified of public speaking. They're terrified of not being enough or not being worthy of love, because our brains have been programmed through evolution to believe, which is true at some level, but they've been programmed to believe that if we fail and we can't contribute to the group, to the tribe, that we can't add value. And if we can't add value, then we're adding pain or we're hurting the group if we're not helping the group. And so back in the day, Pilgrims and Indians and cavemen and stuff like that you would get ex-nayed from the tribe if you weren't contributing, if you weren't adding value. You had to play a role in the growth of the tribe, or you weren't worthy of love. You weren't enough. If you weren't enough for the group, you weren't worthy of love. And so not being enough for the group and not being worthy of love meant death. You'd have to be ex-nayed from the tribe, and you have to go out and live on your own, which meant death and which meant pain. And so understanding what you're actually afraid of is probably the first aspect, because you can't solve a problem if you don't know. Well, you can't have the solution to a problem if you don't actually know the core issue or the core root to that problem, which in this case is fear. And so the easiest way to overcome fear is the acronym for fear itself is false evidence appearing to be real. And so most of the time, what I help my clients with is just recognize that whatever it is that they're afraid of isn't real in the first place. We were talking about, do people create their own reality? And hell yeah, they do. I mean, that's fear alone right there. It's false evidence appearing to be real. Most people's reality of what they're afraid of isn't real. It's only real in their world. And so most of the time I can help my clients overcome their fear in a second, because it's just giving them a different perspective on how they can look at what they think something is going to cause them pain, which would be a fear.
Okay. So, Mark, what would you say is one of the most powerful lessons in your book, Shorten the Gap?
Wow, that's a tough one, since there's a lot of powerful things in my book. The most powerful lesson in my book. It's a good question. I would have to say that it's the essence behind why I wrote my book in the first place, and that takeaway would be that we live in a new era. We have to be able to acquire information at a fast pace, and so I really wrote my book because it's a collection of things that attribute to a person's success and happiness and overall fulfillment in life. And so, my idea behind my book was, all right, I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in countless hours educating myself, and how can I help shorten the gap? How can I help shorten the learning curve for another individual so that they don't have to spend the money, spend the time, spend the resources educating themselves in the same way that I have? How can I help them, quickly educate themselves on things that will give them more success and more happiness in life? And so the essence and the core takeaway from my book is, find somebody who already knows it. Don't go out and try to figure out who should I be studying, who should I do this from. My book is a breakdown of a ton of people that are experts and gurus in an industry that have allowed me to skyrocket my success and help skyrocket thousands of other people's success that I've coached and consulted for. And so the biggest takeaway would be, find out how to quickly educate yourself on how to achieve whatever it is you're looking for. If you want to have an amazing relationship, find out the fastest and best way to educate yourself on that material to have great relationships. Same thing for business. Same thing for anything. You want to become a great cook? Educate yourself on the best cooks and how to quickly and educate yourself on all the best material for that. And so I think that's just the biggest takeaway, is how to quickly educate yourself so that you can get the confidence, as we were talking about earlier. So educate yourself so you have the confidence to achieve whatever it is that you want in life.
Okay, great stuff. Great stuff. So you all, we're going to put the link for Mark's book in the info section of this video. So Mark, can you share with us any new projects you have coming up, what you're working on right now?
Yeah, definitely. I'd be happy to. My team and I are putting together some really cool events located in LA, Orange County, and San Diego on the West Coast. And these events are going to be toned mainly for young adults and young entrepreneurs that are looking to achieve more success in their life. Some other really exciting stuff that we've got going on is we're doing online webinars and Facebook advertising, and so maybe some listeners will be targeted and see one of our ads, and you can hop on some of our free webinars we're doing. We're working on creating some really cool products. We've got a home program coming out for young adults and young entrepreneurs that's going to really skyrocket, the education path that it takes to know the things that kind of what we've been talking about here, what attributes to a person's success and happiness and fulfillment in life. And so if you like my book, Shorten the Gap, you're going to love the home program that we've got.
Okay, cool. So let me just clarify, because I know some of our listeners are probably wondering, you geared your information towards young adults. Does this information work for everyone, or is this for a particular group of people? Great question. I get asked that all the time. Definitely every single thing that I teach has perfect correlation into anybody's age. I mean, I have clients that are in their 60s. I have clients that are in their 50s and 40s. It doesn't matter your age. My material is perfect for anybody of all ages. The only reason why my business is focused on working with young adults is obviously because I myself am in my early 20s, and so there's an easy relatability between me working with other college kids and teens, because I'm not that far away from where they were. But everything I teach definitely relates to anybody of all ages. Okay, great, cool.
Great,
cool.
Mark. Well, Mark, thank you so much for being on You Are Creators. It is our pleasure. Thank you so much.
Of course, guys. It's a privilege to be speaking with you guys today, and I hope I added some value to your listeners.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
This is Justin and Erica from You Are Creators, and we support your dreams.